Nice. So today on the Future Podcast, we are live on location at Island DAO. I want to give a big shout out to Skyrise Labs for helping to film this production.
These people are being rugged. Bad metadata. Their treasury is being drained. Pixelated crab NFTs are no longer the hip thing. The dev has disappeared. If this happens to you or your loved ones, relax. The Future DAO is here to save you with their newfangled token migrator tool.
I just called them.
I put the old token in.
And I got a new one and a fundraise out.
Now look at these people. They've been unrugged by Future DAO, and they've never been happier.
And it was so easy.
The Future DAO, for a better future.
And I want to introduce my guest, Rahim, who is quickly becoming the Solana media presence in the ecosystem and helping to bring culture to us degenerates and ecosystem lovers. Welcome, Rahim.
Thank you, brother. Super grateful to be here.
Love it. Happy to have you on. So why don't we allow you to introduce kind of yourself and then kind of walk me into like what got you into crypto, what red pilled you to become a Solana maxi, and just like, yeah, the floor is yours.
Thank you. Yeah, so my journey has been one of evolution and transformation. I was on a personal development journey in 2017, started learning about crypto so I could practice different forms of self-development like yoga and wanting to be able to travel. And I was looking at ways that I could fund my lifestyle, and crypto just seemed like a great way to work remotely. So I started learning how to trade and invest, and then very quickly started learning to educate others on how they could get skin in the game. My group Cryptosphere, we found Sol at like $3, rode it all the way to 260 all-time high. People made over 8,000% return on investment on Sol, and we never looked back since. Unless we needed to remember where we came from. And it's been a great ride since then, but you know, we've had ups and downs, and my journey has transformed along the way. I started as a trader and investor in this space, and now I've really evolved into a community leader, and I found an opportunity to be a community manager at Solana Foundation, where Raj Gokal brought me in, and I was hired to, I was really hustling for it. I was pushing him on the Twitter DMs, and then eventually like got redirected to the marketing department and whatnot. And I joined as a community manager for Solana Collective. I worked on Solana Collective for about 2 years, almost 2 years, and just completed my contract around the FTX collapse, and then pivoted again, full circle back into my own personal development journey. And what I learned in those 2 years was about community betterment and how we can improve the quality of the climate for community on Solana. So building our ambassador program and connecting with people from around the world, working at Solana Foundation, I had a lot of exposure to seeing the different kinds of projects emerging, the different kinds of builders, and realized that there's a lot of room for growth in terms of how we could increase our awareness of our projects and brands and actually start creating more of a culture of collaboration. So with that being said, I took about a year off to really like get into my own energy again and really decide how I want to move forward and show up in this space. But I was working on my own psychology and personal development, teaching yoga in the jungle, all sorts of stuff in Mexico, and had a lot of time to just think about what I wanted to do in this space. And something that I'm passionate about is amplifying brand presence and increasing awareness. While, you know, we can raise funds, it's important to get the message out there for whatever projects we're involved with. So I launched my own agency towards the end of 2023, and it's called Indiglo. And the whole intention is to amplify the brand presence of Solana native startups and projects that I feel resonant with. And we're a community growth and marketing agency that's creating and shipping different ways to engage, like content from AR to VR, even my own music video that went viral, to just being able to reach people through these different brands, but also bring them back to these projects that are building something on Solana.
Man, epic. So much to unpack. It dawned on me when you were telling your story. I was like, this is where I could have been had I just stuck around. Because I bought Solana at like 250 in 2020, but I sold at 25, not 250. So that was the first mistake. And then when the bear came, I got fed up and I kind of left. And I didn't. Oh, sorry, that was 2017. So what I realized is listening to you talk about your story of the buying the bottom of Solana and being involved with the community and riding it up and continuing forward is like a similar moment that I had, except for I sold at $25. And for me, waiting too long to get involved, because I was a trader speculator as well, and sort of like, you're involved with your friends and you kind of have your stuff and everybody's kind of hands off. And waiting until after FTX to go down to realize, like, what, shit, like, I need to put more skin in the game. I need to make a Twitter account. I need to start making content, getting into a podcast. I wish I had done it so much sooner. And so I applaud you for doing that. Why don't you take a moment to tell me about, like, Indiglo and, like, how many guys you're working with, and then maybe you can even introduce, like, some of the people that you're helping, some of the protocols you're helping.
Yeah, so I mean, the trading journey is not just all sunshine and rainbows, even though it's Solana. There are challenges along the way, and I've had my own fair share of errors where I've fumbled a bag or whatever, and I've learned. I haven't been hacked yet, so I'm very grateful for that. And I'm thankful for the divine protection that takes place, like, while I'm in this space. But at the same time, I've had my fair challenges trading and investing, and I've actually made more money, believe it or not, in the past 6 months of creating brand awareness and doing my marketing than I have with trading or investing. And some people are good at trading and investing. I'm still someone who's still learning to this day which one to ape in on, when timing is everything. But I take risks, and I'm not afraid to be involved or committed to what the cause is. And for me, Solana is the most energy efficient, time efficient, and it's just the most efficient blockchain in general. And there's a lot of things that are only possible on Solana, and I really want to teach people about why that's important and why it's important to build on Solana and be a part of this amazing ecosystem and community. And I learned that very early on, being involved in this space. I realized it's not just about making money. There's got to be some sort of community involvement and empowerment. And so while I've been doing this, like, simultaneously, when I was, like, trading and investing in Sol early on, I had another community that I was creating and leading and building, where we had our own live stream show, and I was paying them in our own token on a Rally sidechain, on Ethereum sidechain.
Nice.
And there was a whole creator model around that, but it wasn't sustainable. The NFTs that we were doing on Ethereum were not sustainable. The NFTs that I started doing on Solana were, like, way more efficient and way more effective. Back then, I was, like, landing Post Malone. We did his project, and we brought it on the front page of OpenSea. But the project didn't last long. People weren't interested at that time. You know what I mean? So we had to pivot. And when we pivoted, the people that I was associated with then, eventually getting more involved in Solana, we realized that we can actually do way more here at a lower cost. And you start realizing all these factors, and as a creator, you pivot. So fast forward to 2024, I was looking at existing projects of how can we amplify the brand presence for these various projects that we come across. One thing I love doing is bringing together different teams to collaborate, whether it's creative or protocols, whatever it is. Silly Dragon caught my attention. The art spoke to me, and then because of that, I got involved, and then it ran up to like 160 mil market cap, and I was fortunate to be involved in that, that kind of a run up. And while a lot of these meme coins are pumping and dumping, we're actually adding liquidity by adding JPEGs, by creating SPO 404, and then we're taking it to the next level with gamification and adding some utility there. And instead of just like pump and dump and rug, that is not sustainable to me or healthy for the culture. So what we're actually doing is finding ways to take these projects to the next level and show, okay, we're here, we're building for longevity. And like that, I have about 6 other clients and projects that I'm working on now. And I've been even talking to the guys here at Triad at Island DAO. So there's a lot of different teams that are coming together. And what I'm looking to do with them is to help them grow their user base or increase their brand awareness through creative fun marketing campaigns. I studied marketing, media, and communications, and I dropped out, and I grew up in the music industry in Toronto. So that's my background, and that's where I come from. So I love using music and music videos and animations with music as a modality of storytelling to help people understand the complex ideas that are happening on chain in a very simple way. And that's kind of where we're at right now, is we're finding fun ways to implement this across the board.
You know what? Like, that's sick. And while you were kind of talking about the Post Malone NFT moment, and I was thinking about last cycle and like that push for NFTs. And you're right, it didn't stick because it's kind of all it was. And then it made me think about the music video that I just saw for the first time during your workshop a few minutes ago. And the production quality is sick. And it feels like what you're doing here is like, you're not trying to get the culture to come in to just be crypto.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying to bring that culture and embed it into crypto. And like, and I'll drop the link. The music video did is a perfect example of like production quality for artists.
And you got to take it to a whole nother level with that.
Exactly. Don't say just come here and launch an NFT and all this gimmicky shit. Come here and do what you already do, but let's do it for the Web3 and like create that audience for the first time
and make it sustainable.
Yeah.
So I'll give you a few examples of how I resonate with that and why that aligns. When you look at that music video, the Soul Maxi music video, the budget for that was around $7,000.
No.
That's $7,000. But when you look at who is creating it, it's pretty incredible because, you know, we got a Cybertruck, we had amazing editor, we had drones, we had an animator. Now that animator for the music videos that he's done with Drake, because he's the animator behind Drake and J. Cole's first person shooter, same animator. That music video had a budget, from my awareness, around $500,000.
Yeah, I believe it.
But we took that animator and told them, okay, here's like a 30-second clip and a budget that we have for the Silly Dragon character. And I told him I want to put it in a music video. He's like, what are you talking about? I'm like, just do this. Here's the storyline. Here's the vision. He made a 30-second commercial for Solana Mobile. Then I told my editor, who does all of Russell Brand's videos and edits them and chops them, and I brought him on board. And then we took the animations from Drake's animator and Russell Brand's editor and got them chopped up into the music video that was shot and executively produced and co-directed myself and my friend Shavar, who's an amazing, talented, multi-faceted artist and multidisciplinary artist. And with that kind of experience, we're bringing in high caliber creators with a smaller budget and then increasing and amplifying the brand presence. That $5,000 to $7,000 production yielded 500,000 views and a lot of other shit that came with it, but like,
other benefits.
People were talking about it, and we got over 500,000 views, and it's a cultural staple moment now, and it's this is a way that we reach people to tell them that Solana is a gas-free lifestyle, and Silly's going to a multi-billy NFA, but you know what I'm saying? Like, it's just, we're getting people aware and talking about the project, and it served its purpose.
It highlights on a lot of really cool things, and it's like the ability for crypto to, I don't want to say cut out middleman in a way that makes it seem like, you know, these budgets for music videos are too high, right? Like they serve a purpose, the artist can pay for them. There's a lot of people that get paid in the process, like whatever. But for you to be able to bring people together and film it with that kind of a budget, I think it's epic. And it also kind of represents like a moment, right? Because if it were maybe not for the blockchain or not for something interesting, then maybe you wouldn't have been able to string it together. But then you get this creator and you get this director and you put them in a room and you're like, this is what we're doing. And they go, oh, wow, this is cool. They kind of get to feel like they're actually a part of something tangible, almost as like a startup. Because you always hear like, you know, startups got to run lean. You need the people to be able to like buy in and say, you know what, I'm willing to give you my time and do this for a better price because I know it's what you can afford because I believe in seeing it through. And so you kind of like in that moment, like you created believers. And so like maybe the lesson is like, maybe it won't always be that way as more and more people come on and they can reach more notoriety and raise prices. But like for right now, like there is no better time to be involved in trying to like shepherd this creative moment, and especially on Solana. Yeah.
I feel aligned with that. It's a very interesting time that we are coming together on Solana and, you know, around the campfire here at Island DAO. And there's so many different modalities for art to be a medium for us to share what we're building, why it's important, why we value it, and also why it's a reflection of our lifestyle. For me, the music video was like, here I am. This is me living my gas-free lifestyle. A little exaggerated with the Cybertruck and whatnot, but we're having fun living gas-free. And I just wanted to share that kind of energy, that it doesn't always have to be about making money. It doesn't always have to be about being behind the computer. Like, get out there and have fun and talk about it, you know, and make people feel something and make people laugh. And if it, you know, it sparks something in some people that makes them feel good, then I did my job at the end of the day. Because for me, it's more about like leaving people feeling something as an artist. Like I just want to make people feel like this can like help you change your life in a way. Solana's transformed my life.
Absolutely.
And I'm so grateful. And it symbolizes the power of the sun. It also symbolizes the power of this financial technology and what we can do when we come together around it. So I feel like that was one modality. But the thing about a lot of this is it's about sustainability. And I've noticed that a lot of these creators or memes are pump, dump, and rug. And like there's a gap between creators in web 2 that have a lack of knowledge about web 3, and then I'm over here in like the corner of web 3 that's known as Solana, and we're like welcoming creators like Drip is doing such an amazing job, like Vibhu is doing an amazing job of bringing so many people to Solana through this creator portal. And I really think that we're starting to see more Web2 creators realize the benefits of getting involved with a platform like Drip. Um, I love Vibhu and I love what he's building, and I love Jury and the team and what they're creating. I myself didn't get onboarded as a creator because I do so many things. It's not like I'm niche focused, you know? And I'm okay with that because maybe Drip is not for everyone, but Drip is for the people who believe uh, in art and culture and being a collector or a participator in the creator economy. So even if I'm not creating, I can still collect. And there's a beautiful platform called Exchange Art, which is also designed with the same intention to trade and collect art. So the sustainability factor comes in when you have all these meme coins that are using art and memes to like drive attention to a project, but they're lacking the longevity. Like it's just like it flatlines so quickly that like you had so much potential to carry it forward. And I think a lot of people lack the knowledge of how to do that. And then in Web 2, we're seeing artists come in and think that, oh, I can make a fuck ton of money and get out, and it's not going to affect anybody. Or not, people are not going to say anything about it. And I think we're beginning to see that happen with like the recent celebrity coins. It's kind of reminiscent of the 2017 and 2021 ICO craze. Um, and I'll share a story about that in a moment. But there's got to be a way to educate people, and that's something I want to do through our entertainment. That you can like actually thrive and make a lifestyle, and don't have to come pump, dump, and rug.
Yeah.
You can
Yeah.
come over here and actually be here for longevity and thrive. And like that's something I want to drive home through our brand awareness.
I fully align with the educational side of that, and it's a large part of like us at Future Protocol is like it's
Edutainment.
and it's human capital, right? It's like understanding that there are so many avenues for you to be in crypto. You don't just need to be a dev. Surely, like you'll knock boots with devs and you'll learn to work with them, but like community management, creativity, like networking, like all of that just starts in like one single Telegram group or one Discord group. And then you meet somebody, you hear an idea,
I think that when I was working at Solana Foundation, we were underpaid and undervalued as community managers. And I identified in my bio as a community leader, and I was told to change it to a consultant and just recognized as a community manager. But I don't just manage the community, I lead the community. We're going to war every day. We're men. We're gathering the troops. Like we have to like really rally around this technology and take it to new levels and take it out to our local communities. I was okay with letting go of that and creating my own movement and still being a part of this in my own way. And I still to this day identify as a community leader, not a community manager. And I think that the community managers are playing a role of management, but they're also leaders simultaneously. And a lot of this content and brand awareness and everything that we're creating represents the future of our humanity, and this technology represents the future of the direction we're moving in to trade and transact information and value. And that needs to be done creatively to educate people because of the attention span and attention economy we're living in. So it's got to be edutainment. People only fuck with it if it makes them feel something.
edutainment. I like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna use that. I'm gonna steal that.
We share it.
Yeah, we'll share. I would have given you credit for sure. Yeah, I like it. It's like what you said about Solana too. Is it's like in that moment there's a decentralized ecosystem, but then a centralized control trying to decide, and maybe that's not representative of the whole piece. Because now like you're here at Island DAO, and like we're at Crossroads, and that's step powered, and like all of these individual entities that are like man and womaned up and pulled the pants up to like we're going to push Solana forward. with or without foundation or lab support. It just so happens that foundation and labs are supporting and grant giving, and it allows us to, like you said, like go to war every day.
We saw an artist come up like last night, okay? Major well-known vocal artist like come on to Drip, like within an hour he was onboarded over crypto Twitter. Solana and Phantom were tweeting about it, and then the dude was shilling his own token within the same time space, and then was associated with another KOL in this space, and it was pump, it was dump, and now we're questioning if it was a rug. And I've been contacting him saying, hey, dude, like it's still not too late if you want to make this sustainable.
Right.
I reached out, and then I'm thinking, hey, future, we could do a community takeover for this artist.
Absolutely.
They lack the knowledge to realize
Yeah.
there's so much more possible here.
Yeah.
You can make money over a amount of time
Yeah.
and serve people
Yeah.
in the process.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say who it was, but I was amazed to see like that this happened. I participated, I aped in, I experienced the blood, and at the same time, my lion-hearted soul bank energy was like, we're gonna transform this and turn it into something else if they want to. If they don't, we're gonna educate people so that they can learn. But we learn through our pain, no gain, and that's exactly why I still put skin in the game. And I'm like, all right, let's go. Show me what you got. Show me a reflection of your character.
Yeah.
Eventually, we're gonna see that meme coins are social-fi, and they represent a cultural movement, right? Social-fi.
Yeah.
These tokens now are going to represent the artists, and it's going to be a reflection of their character.
Yeah.
People are going to be banking on their artists, like, yeah, I'm still with this artist. We're going to run this up.
And there's an interesting point you make where it's like it doesn't have to just die at the rug, where it's like, you do a takeover and then you empower one of his fans. Like imagine how many fans this guy or girl has out there in the world that would love to be on his community token DAO to help it do things. You get it a small treasury, you allow it to pay people. Now they have jobs like, is it merch related, Web3 experiences? Maybe he's able to offer things like pre-concert. Like there's an infinite ability to actually like commoditize it and turn it and market it
and get
in a not cheesy, not awful way, like a creation of value.
Get people in the right room, making decisions together.
Yeah.
I love that idea. Empower your people.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, we're here. We're kings on our throne. We have to be able to empower the people around us, right? Yeah. And when you think about it, like there's so many people that don't even know or are not aware or have access to this kind of information technology. There's a social responsibility that comes with that. I've been called a scammer. People accuse me of this and that. I haven't rugged once. And if I was involved with any other project that failed, I gave back this supply and said, you know what, like I've done my part, but I've never rugged. And I love to be here with other builders and build up that reputation and that credibility in real life, because it makes me feel like I'm actually contributing to something greater and I can actually do more for people around me. And that's what some people need to realize is like these creative modalities and these mediums allow us to get the word out there so we can actually be of service to people, and this financial technology can better our lives and the people around us. And then, gradually ripple out to humanity.
Amen.
It's an amazing time.
Yeah. It's funny you say that, like we're being called ruggers from the meme coin Murted that we took over into Future because it had been rugged. And so we're being called elaborate ruggers for the purpose of marketing. And it's like the whole reason that we made this protocol was to stop when rugs occur to save the community value. And it's just poetic. It's poetic to like be called a scammer.
People, it's easy for people to point the finger and make accusations, but it's really like it takes a level of compassion, self-awareness, and understanding to understand and take the time to like listen, like what are these guys' intentions behind this? It's really when people are pointing the finger like that, there's three pointing back at them, and it's a reflection of their character and their own mindset and their own logic. So we have to weed out the non-essential on crypto Twitter and create a healthy mental environment of like, what do we actually want to co-create here and bring that forward? Like there's probably some projects I could bring over to Future and say, hey, okay, how can we turn this into something? It's turning a negative into a positive, and Future becomes this space where we're alchemizing the energy and tokens and whatever and turning into a powerhouse.
I would love that.
It's the power of people coming together to want to do a social good.
And yeah, I could spin wheels on that all day long, but I'm gonna move to wrapping this up because it's been a sick conversation. And one of the things that I like to ask my guests before they go is, what has been the thing that you have done over the course of the bear market, coming into now wherever we are in the bull market, that's like kept you sane? What's your thing that drives, Rahim?
That keeps me sane?
That keeps you in the game.
That keeps me like centered in the lane.
Noise. Yeah. What keeps you sane?
Gratitude.
Yeah.
if I like gratitude is my psychic center of gravity. I feel centered in gratitude, and I gotta focus on like every little thing that I can be grateful for, because even if I forget to meditate or pray or do yoga or anything, in any moment I can take a breath and say thank you. And every moment is like an opportunity to, like, keep pushing forward. If I get rugged, thank you, it had a lesson in it. You know what I mean? If I secure a bag, thank you, there's a lesson in that too. And just like continually building on that energy, I really feel like gratitude is God. When you feel like that energy of gratitude, you feel connected to something greater than yourself, and you expand and you don't contract. And in that expanse, I feel like I can keep pushing forward.
That's sage words, and especially in this industry that moves so fast, like it's so easy to get caught up in like the little bullshit when like if you zoom out, there's so much to be grateful for. And I'm grateful for you being on the podcast, and I appreciate you, brother.
Thank you. The future and beyond.
Yeah, respect.